weekend sees the return of Serie A. Italy's top division is back and, of course, hoping to cause some upsets. We are there too with our prediction league. Can you beat me? We'll take a little look next. Another prediction video today. We look forward to match day number 1 in the 2023-2024 Serie A season, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, bang with all things Serie A related, Black Rovers related, world football related. We're all here, boys, under one rooski, of course. We're back, that's right. Italiano, pizza, spaghetti. We have it all here, boys, baby, under one rooski. Will Napoli, new manager, of course, bit of a rebuild going on, crazy stuff going on here, left, right, and centre. To be honest with you, I think this is going to be the most open Serie A season we've had in a long, long time. Roma contenders, Milan, Juventus, Inter, Lazio, the champions, Napoli. You can't even rule out Atalanta. Who bloody knows? It's going to be action stations from the get-go. We're going to be there the whole bloody way. So make sure you subscribe. Of course, big shout out once again to the VIPs. You know who you are. The patrons, that's right. Anyway, let's get into the Vortex. We are talking about this. Ja. Wunderbar. That's German, but it translates. It means we're back. Fantastic. And of course, this is how the season ended up last time around. Of course, Napoli blew the league apart last time around. 90 points for them. Champions, of course. Lazio, sorry ball. Can they go one better this time around? Inter and AC in 3rd and 4th. Atalanta in 5th. Roma squeaking into the Europa League. And of course, shit the bed in the final. Against Sevilla. And of course, we said goodbye to Spezia, Cremonese, and Sampdoria, my boys. So, kind of sucks balls that they're not here. But these are here. These are the guys that are here. And we're going to do a bit of knowledge with my badge. Skills here. There might be 1 or 2 sticky ones, but I'm going to go with it. We've got AC Milan, we've got Monza, Fiorentina, we've got Roma, Atalanta, Bologna, Cagliari, we've got Empoli, we've got Frosinone, we've got Genoa, Hellas Verona, Internazionale, we've got Juventus, we've got Lazio, Sassuolo, Napoli, Torino, Lecce, Udinese, and Salernitana. I'm pretty shit hot at that, baby. Test me on flags. That's next. Of course, that's how the table looks like right here, right now. Squeaky clean. Empoli says, stop the count. We'll take it. That would see AC Milan relegated. Of course, a bit of a randomised table, but it all starts here, boys and girls. All right, then, folks, let's take a little look at the Super Brew, brand new Super League prediction league for you. Free to enter. Get your name in lights. Can you out-predict me, the prediction king? There is the gobbledygook of a link down there, so make sure you follow it. Should be in the description down below, of course. Can you be number 1 from the get-go all the way to the bitter end? Not a sponsor, but I am open for offers, guys. So, of course, these are the opening games in match number 1 over in Italy. Of course, some zingers in there, but of course, we are going to predict each and every one of them starting right about now. That's right. So let's get in the deep end. Empoli against Hellas Verona. That's right. Coming at you on a Saturday, August the 19th. Now, these two sides have played each other 15 times. So 2004, we've got 5 wins for Empoli, 3 for Hellas Verona, and 7 draws, of course. Empoli coming to us on 50% form for them right now. 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. That's including pre-season. They come into this on the back of a 4-3 win. That's the biggest over at Hellas Verona, scoring 15 goals in those 15 games. Of course, that means just 1 goal a game ratio. Verona, though, picking up a big 3-1 win, their biggest over Empoli, scoring 14 goals in those 15 games, 0.93 goals game ratio, of course, but back-to-back defeats from pre-season. The last time we played each other was a 1-1 draw in Empoli back in August 2022, and the last time that these two sides played each other, the last 3 games, in fact, both home and away, all ended up in 1-1 draws. That's right. They are got played in the Coppa Italia round of the 64, so Empoli will take on Cittadella. That's, of course, this weekend. Verona taking on Ascoli. Both sides are expected to sidestep their lower league opposition, but the odds for this one, we have Empoli fight the 4 for the victory, 11-5. The draw, we got 90-10 is the away win. A draw, it was, of course, the favoured result of the last 3 years. I'm going with another one. That's right. 4 1-1s in a row. No change in my eyes. Kick it on forward. It is Frosinone against the champions, Napoli. Of course, all eyes on this game, you would imagine. It's one of the other early game on, of course, Saturday. Now, these two sides have played each other 10 times. Since 2005, we've got 8 wins for Napoli. We've got nothing for Frosinone. We've got 2 draws, of course. The biggest win for Napoli was a 4-0 win. They scored 27 goals in those 10 games. You could do the math there. That's just 2.7. Actually, an incredible 2.7 goals game ratio compared compared to the 7 goals scored by Frosinone, 0.7 goals game ratio heading into this. The last time around, though, they played each other in Frosinone. It was a 2-0 win in April 2019. And of course, Napoli have played them. They actually won, of course, 6 on the bounce. But the last 3, they picked up, 4? They got scored 10 goals in the last 3 games, haven't conceded 1 against them. Frosinone will take on, they've already taken on Pisa in their Coppa Italia game. They won 1-0, just a squeaky 1-0 win there. Of course, Napoli are not in action. They've got a bit of a bye because I think they must be champions or they're just too good or whatever it is. But of course, they are looking forward to the opening account against Frosinone. The odds here 5-1 is Frosinone. We've got 9-4 on Napoli. 7-2 was the draw. It might be all changed a little bit for Napoli, but I think they're going to be way too strong for Frosinone and open up with a dominating 2-0 win to maybe alleviate some early fears to the fans that maybe it's not going to be a good season. I do anticipate them to still be up there. Osman's still there. The Georgian fella's still there. They've lost the big Korean fella at the back. So all changed, but we'll see. Genoa up against Fiorentina. Of course, coming at you from Luigi Ferraris. Played each other 35 times since 1994. We've got 5 wins for Genoa, 13 wins for Fiorentina. We've got 17 draws, of course. Genoa's biggest win over Fiorentina, just a 2-1 win, scoring 35 goals in those 35 games. That's a goal-a-game ratio compared to Fiorentina's 6-0 win. Their biggest, scoring 54 goals in those 35 games, 1.54 goals game ratio heading into this. The last time they played each other, of course, in Genoa, it was a 2-1 with Fiorentina. Of course, Genoa haven't picked up a win in the last 5, losing 2, drawing 3 though. Of course, Genoa taking on Modena in, of course, the Coppa Italia. They picked up the W on that one. Fiorentina taking on Crete in another friendly before this game. So they're also not in the Coppa Italia action. The odds, though, for this one, we have 90-10 Genoa, 5-4 Fiorentina, 9-4 was the draw. I'm going to go with an away day win. That's the easy one there. I think that's, there's going to be a shock somewhere in this. I just don't think it's going to be Genoa. They are a team that's going to struggle. Fiorentina are a strong side, middle to top end side, so you would imagine they would open up with a win on this. But kicking off forward is another one. It's Internazionale up against Monza. Of course, coming at the San Siro. That's right. The Giuseppe Meazza, as they call it. 3 times they played each other since 2021 with a piece. 1 draw, of course. Inter, though, their biggest win, their only win over Monza was a 1-0 win. They scored just 3 goals in those 3 games. 1 goal a game ratio. And of course, those stats and those numbers are identical to Monza. Biggest win for them, 1-0 win. They scored just 3 goals, of course, and the average of 1 goal apiece. Last time I played each other in Monza, though, it was a 2-2 draw. That was back in January 2023. In fact, Monza were unbeaten against Internazionale last season. I picked up an away day win in Milan. So the last time I played each other was that 1-0 win for Monza, of course. Monza will open up their account against Regina in the Coppa Italia. Inter will not be in action, of course. Looking forward to their opening game against Monza right here, right now. The odds for this, though, we've got to Internazionale 5-2 on for the victory. 6-1 is the Monza, of course, and 16-5 is the draw. I don't think they're going to do a repeat this time around. I think Monza's shock value, surprise value from the past season or so is gone, and I think Internazionale will be back to business. And of course, will be a serious contender from the off. Into Sunday's game, it is Roma up against Salernitana. That's right, Mourinho is still here. Of course, made a European final for Roma. Maybe he can go one better this time around, get Champions League or a trophy. Of course, played Salernitana 6 times. Since 1998, we've got 4 wins for Roma, we've got 1 draw and 1 win for Salernitana. The biggest win for Roma, 4-0 win, scoring 13 goals in those 6 games, 2.17 goals game ratio, compared to Salernitana's biggest win, 2-1 win, scoring just 6 goals in those 6 games. That's, of course, a goal a game. Last time around, though, in Roma, it was a 2-2 draw back in May 2023. Roma, though, haven't lost against Salernitana in the last 4 occasions, pick up 3 wins and a draw. Roma still in pre-season action. Salernitana will take on Tirana this coming weekend in the Coppa Italia. But the odds for this game, the opener, of course, in Rome, 5-2 on is your Roma, 3-1 is the draw, and we've got 13-2 is, of course, your away side here. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Mourinho. Open up the account, see if he can do it this time around. Next up, we have Sassuolo up against Atalanta. Probably the game of the day, maybe. There's a couple of other ones that could be game of the day, but of course, played each other 25 times since 2006. We have 4 wins for Sassuolo, we've got 5 draws, and we've got 16 wins for Atalanta. Then their biggest win was a 5-1 win, scoring 52 goals in the 25 games, 2.08 goals game ratio for Atalanta. Sassuolo Sassuolo on the flip side, their biggest win over Atalanta was a 2-0 win, scoring just 23 goals in the 25 games, 0.92 goals game ratio. However, last time I played each other in Sassuolo, it was a 1-0 win for Sassuolo, with the away side not winning that game. The last time the away side beat the home side was when Atalanta beat Sassuolo back in September 2019. So it's been a few years, of course. Sassuolo taking on Cesena in the Coppa Italia. Atalanta taking on Juventus in a final preseason friendly this weekend. But the odds for this, of course, heading into this game, we have Sassuolo 23-10 for the victory, 12-5 is the draw, and we got 21-20. It is tight at the bookies, but yeah, I think I'm going to go Atalanta to get something from this. 1-1 draw in the end. Sassuolo at home. Yeah, it's a tight one that you just don't know. Sassuolo can be shit, but they could also be quite tidy, depending on which one shows up. Next, of course, we have the Battle of the Elves. It's Lecce, it's Lazio. It's, of course, on Sunday, August the 20th. Now, these two sides have played each other 26 times in 1983. We've got 6 wins for Lecce, 15 wins for Lazio. We've got 5 draws, of course. Lecce, biggest win for them over Lazio was a 5-3 win, scoring 34 goals in those 26 games, 1.31 goals game ratio. Up against Lazio with the biggest win, 4-0 win over Lecce, scoring 53 goals in those 26 games, 2.04 goals a game ratio. Now, when you look at those two stats, there is goals in this game, including last time around when they played each other at Lecce. It was a 2-1 win for Lecce. Of course, 2-2 was the reverse fixture in Rome back in May. So Lecce not in action. Actually, tell a lie. Lecce are in action. They're up against Como in the Coppa Italia. Lazio are not in action. They're of course gearing up for their opening game in the league. The odds for this one 22-20 is your Lecce, 11-10 is your Lazio, 21-10 is the draw. So far, I don't think I've gone with an upset, but I'm not going with one here either. I'm sticking with Lazio, of course, second last time around. Sarri ball still in full flooded action. So I do anticipate them to keep on where or continue where they left off. Next up, of course, we do have Udinese up against Juventus. This could be a zinger right here. Now, these two sides, caught in my eyes, have played each other 57 times since 1994. We've got 9 wins for Udinese. We've got 40 wins for Juventus. We've got 8 draws, of course. Udinese's biggest win was a 3-0 win, scoring 41 goals in those 57 games, 0.72 goals game ratio. Up against Juventus, whose biggest win was a 4-0 win, scored 109 goals in those 57 games. 1.91 goals game ratio. Heading into this last time around, though, over at the Stadio Friuli, it was a 1-0 win for Juventus, who picked up 6 wins on the spin against Udinese, and they haven't conceded a goal against them in the last 3. Udinese and Juventus are not in cup action this coming weekend, but the odds for this, 60-5 is your host, 5-4 on is Juventus, 12-5 is your. Have I gone for a shock on this one? I have not. Sticking with Juventus, sticking with, of course, the bigger boys, and, of course, all opening up their account with a win so far. Up to Monday now we go, of course, and it's Torino up against Cagliari, that's right, coming at you on Monday night. Now these two sides played each other 38 times in 1983. We've got 15 wins for Torino. We've got 11 wins for Cagliari. 12 draws, of course. Biggest win for Torino was a 4-0 win, scoring 56 goals in those 38 games. We've got 1.47 goals game ratio compared to Cagliari's 3-0 win. That's their biggest. 44 goals in the 38 games. 1.16 goals game ratio. Last time around, though, in Torino, it was a 2-1 win for Cagliari. That was back in February 2022. The away side's only won once of the last 6. That's when Cagliari beat Torino in Cagliari. Of course, Cagliari will open up against Palmero. Torino taking on Fosprilio in the Coppa Italia. Both sides are expected to win those games to progress in the cup. Both are at home ties as well. The odds for this, though, we had 10-7 on is your Torino, 10-3 is your Cagliari, 13-5 is the draw. So on Monday night, all eyes on this. 1-0 win for Torino for me on this one. Next, of course, we have Bologna against AC Milan to wrap it all up for the opening day in Italy. Now, these two sides have played each other quarterfinals 46 times in 1986. 6 wins for Bologna, 30 for Milan. We've got 10 draws, of course. Bologna, 3-0 win was the biggest of AC Milan, scoring 40 goals in this 46 games, 0.87 goals game ratio, compared to Milan's 5-1 win, scoring 84 goals in those 46 games, 1.83 goals game ratio heading into this. Last time around, though, over at the Renato D'Aliara, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2023. But Milan are unbeaten against Bologna over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws. Both sides not in cup action. Actually, tell a lie. Bologna were in cup action. They beat Cesena 2-0 win this past weekend. The odds here 12-5 is your Bologna, 12-5 is the draw. 2019 on is your AC Milan on this. I'm backing them as well. 2-1 win. Bit nervy, but of course over the line to get the 3 points. This is what I think. It's there in black and white, of course, but don't just look at that. Don't just say, yeah, you're right. I want to see your own predictions, of course, in the very own Super Brew. Get in amongst it. It is free. See if you can out-predict me. I'm going to put mine in there. Yours are going to be in there. And see if I can out-predict you, or you can out-predict me, which I don't think you can, because I'm the prediction king, that's right. But if I am right, this is what the table will look like. It'll be Inter, it'll be Napoli, it'll be Roma, it'll be Juventus, it'll be the who's who. And of course, going down, it'll be Monza, Salernitana, and Frosinone, which of course could be the case as well. They do look like credible teams that could go down. And of course, don't forget, that is the link for the Super Brew. Of course, we'll be there. Hopefully, you'll be there too. Of course, looking forward to match day number 2. That's, of course, coming at you next weekend. Until then, though, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, your one-stop shop for everything, of course, World Football Rovers and, of course, Serie Aand. Your non-stop shop right here at Blackburn Overseas. But until then, I'll see you soon for the next one, guys. Subscribe, thumbs up, and, of course, smash that little bell.